For the pampered Chloe, this was already hell. Ryan, think of something. We're going to freeze to death. She pushed Ryan beside her. Ryan was also freezing badly, frantically layering all his clothes on. Stop nagging. I'm cold too. This damn weather changed so suddenly. Quick, find some heat packs. The heat packs are in that box. Chloe pointed to the corner. They fumbled around, searching, only to find fewer than 10 heat packs left. Nowhere near enough to last the night. Wait, your brother? Doesn't he have money? He must be in a luxury hotel or bought heating equipment. Call him quick. Chloe grasped at this lifeline like a drowning person, trembling hands dialing my number. Sorry, the number you have dialed is switched off. Damn it! Chloe furiously threw her phone onto the sofa. That bastard dared to turn off his phone. Don't panic, don't panic. Ryan's eyes flickered. I remember now. I saw your brother at the South City wholesale market before. I was far away, but I vaguely heard him repeatedly mention the western suburbs and a factory. There happens to be an abandoned factory there. At a time like this, he must be hiding there. Let's go find him. But the snow outside is so bad. Chloe looked at the terrifying blizzard outside, hesitating. Not going means waiting to die. The snow won't stop anytime soon. In a few more hours, the pipes here will burst. We have a car with heat. And once we find your brother, with your system and my brains, we can easily take him down. Then his supplies will be ours. Greed overcame fear. The two wrapped themselves in all their clothes and struggled downstairs, diving into the car. The car started, and when the warm air blew out, both sighed with relief. Let's go to the western suburbs! A vicious gleam flashed in Chloe's eyes. When we see Ethan, I'll make him kneel in the snow and apologize, beg me to forgive his earlier rudeness. Meanwhile, in the western suburbs, I was staring at a corner of the surveillance screen. There, several stray dogs were huddled together, shivering. Suddenly, one dog's body convulsed violently, its eyes instantly bloodshot, turning crimson red. A piercing, inhuman shriek echoed across the wasteland, and that mutated zombie dog viciously lunged at its companions, blood spraying onto the snow, instantly freezing into red ice crystals. This isn't an ordinary virus. It's the extreme cold zombie virus. They're not afraid of the cold. The colder it gets, the more excited they become. I put down my chopsticks, finally here. I stood up and walked to the control panel and pressed the red button. Level 1 alert. Defense mode activated. The high-voltage electric fence of the first perimeter defense line instantly powered on, blue arcs crackling in the blizzard. I raised my wine glass and toasted to the blizzard on the surveillance screen. Welcome to hell, my guests. The blizzard in the western suburbs had evolved into a white catastrophe, with visibility under 5 meters. A white BMW X5, like a drunk, crawled with difficulty along the road where snow was already half a meter deep. Why aren't we there yet? Didn't you say it was only 20 kilometers? Chloe sat in the passenger seat, wrapped in 2 down comforters. Still so cold her teeth chattered violently. Don't nag. Ryan's hands on the steering wheel had lost all feeling, covered in purple-blue frostbite. The GPS says it's just ahead. Damn it, I can't see the road at all. A crisp crack, and the car body suddenly sank, then stalled completely. The undercarriage was stuck on a hard chunk of ice in the middle of the road. The car's broken! Ryan desperately pounded the steering wheel, but his hand hit the ice-hard leather cover, making him grimace in pain. What? Chloe screamed. Do you want me to die here? Ryan, you useless piece of— Shut up! If you're so capable, you drive. Ryan exploded too, survival instinct overpowering his usual pretense. Get out! That dark shadow ahead should be the factory. We'll walk. The two had no other choice now. Staying in the car meant freezing to death. They wrapped the comforters tight and stumbled into the blizzard like 2 clumsy penguins. They felt like their lungs were freezing, every breath a slow torture. 500 meters, usually a few minutes walk, took them a full half hour. When that steel beast of an abandoned factory appeared before them, the two practically crawled on their knees to the main gate. But the sight before them left them stunned. This wasn't an abandoned factory, this was clearly a steel fortress. The originally dilapidated red brick walls were completely covered with silver-gray metal plates. Chloe rushed to the massive solid steel gate, frantically pounding on the door. Ethan, I know you're in there. Open the door. Ethan, it's Chloe. I'm freezing to death. Please let me in. Ethan, it's Ryan. We're family. How can you leave us to die? The two shouted themselves hoarse, but their voices were quickly swallowed by the howling wind. Inside, I sat on a massive leather sofa, facing a wall of surveillance screens. On them, 2 blurry thermal imaging red shadows were pressed against the gate, like 2 pitiful flies. Beside me, red oil bubbled in a small copper pot, releasing an insanely appetizing spicy aroma. System, turn on external speakers, I ordered calmly. Activated, the speaker outside emitted a crackling sound, startling the two. Then, a lazy, calm voice with a hint of amusement rang out through the blizzard. Who is it? Don't you know disturbing people in the middle of the night is illegal? Hearing this voice, tears instantly streamed down Chloe's face. Ethan, it's me, your sister. Open the door. It's freezing out here. We're dying. Sister. Huh. My voice remained unhurried, accompanied by a slurping sound. Tisk, this duck intestine is slightly overcooked. Who did you say you were? Outside, Chloe nearly choked. I'm freezing like a dog out here, and you're eating hot pot inside? And duck intestine no less. That damn delicious smell made her mouth water instantly, her stomach growling traitorously. Ethan, stop playing dumb. I know you can hear me. I'm Chloe, your only sister. Open the door now. Once I'm inside, I'll explain everything about before. It was all a misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? I put down my chopsticks, picked up the microphone, and looked at that distorted face on the screen, my gaze suddenly cold. Telling me to scram was a misunderstanding? Or was saying you'd make me die like a dog in front of you also a misunderstanding? That was just anger talking. Chloe panicked. Ethan, you're a man. Why are you so petty? I was wrong before. I'm apologizing now. I'm sorry, okay? Now open the door. This wasn't an apology. It was a command. In her mind, as long as she lowered her head and said those 3 words, I had to forgive her. That had been the rule for 20 years. Too bad the rules had changed. If apologies worked, what would we need police for? I sneered. Why don't you try your strongest ability? Don't you have the elimination system? These words struck Chloe like lightning. Right, I have an ability, why should I beg him? Fine. If you won't open it, I'll open it myself. Don't beg me later. A vicious gleam flashed in Chloe's eyes, and she took a deep breath, energy surging within her body. She slammed her frozen hand against the steel door. Eliminate! A red light burst from her palm, striking the door hard. However, the expected scene of the gate vanishing didn't happen. Instead, the red light was like hitting an invisible wall, instantly rebounding, making Chloe's arm go numb, and she fell backward into the snow. System warning, target object density too high and protected by high-level energy-reinforced space anchoring. Host current level LV1. Cannot eliminate. Forced elimination requires life force consumption. Chloe stared in disbelief at the immovable door. My system is the strongest. How could I not even open a door? My merciless laughter came through the speakers. Forgot to tell you, this door cost me $5 million in aerospace-grade alloy, and my system happens to counter yours. Your elimination can't eliminate my hoarding. Now, get lost. Don't dirty the snow at my doorstep. The speaker cut off, then the floodlights above the gate suddenly blazed on, two blinding beams shining directly into their faces, making them unable to open their eyes. Chloe sat in the snow, feeling the cold that penetrated to her bones, staring at that door that would never open, experiencing for the first time what true despair felt like. Half an hour passed. Chloe and Ryan hadn't left. Because the car was broken, they could only huddle in a wind-sheltered alcove by the factory gate. What do we do? I can't feel my feet. Chloe's lips had turned dark purple, her eyelashes covered in ice crystals. Ryan was even worse off. He'd given Chloe one of his few pieces of clothing, and now his whole body shook violently, his eyes beginning to glaze over. Don't sleep. If you sleep, you won't wake up. Just then, from above, an aroma so rich it could make your soul leave your body wafted out. The two laboriously lifted their heads. Want some? I stood on the second-floor terrace, holding the unfinished bowl of hot pot. Ethan, please, just give me a sip, just one sip of hot soup. Ryan finally broke down, kneeling in the snow and kowtowing frantically upward. I even taught you basketball before. For old time's sake, save me. I chuckled and casually picked up a piece of freshly cooked fatty beef. When you locked me outside, before, did you talk about old times then? I released my hand, and that piece of steaming, oil-dripping beef fell in front of the two, into the dirty snow. Ryan almost instinctively lunged to grab it, but Chloe was faster, snatching up that piece of snow-covered meat and shoving it directly into her mouth, swallowing it without even chewing. That moment of warmth made her moan with satisfaction. Tasty? Yes. So good, Chloe nodded, tears streaming. Since you've eaten, get lost already. My security system detected some little friends attracted by the smell just now. Before the two could react, several pairs of glowing green eyes suddenly appeared in the distant blizzard, low growls carrying over on the wind. They're mutated zombie dogs. Run, run! Ryan reacted fastest, grabbing Chloe and trying to flee, but the ground was all ice and snow, and the two slipped, face-planting hard into the ground. The first zombie dog lunges forward, its gaping maw aimed straight for Ryan's thigh. Help! Ethan, help me! Ryan lets out an ear-piercing scream as he desperately kicks at the dog, but the creature feels no pain. In this critical moment, a flash of viciousness crosses Ryan's eyes. He suddenly grabs Chloe beside him and shoves her forcefully toward the dog's mouth while rolling away to safety. What are you doing? Chloe screams in terror. The reeking jaws are about to tear into her neck. In this split second between life and death, survival instinct conquers fear. Chloe locks eyes on the lunging dog's head as the red icon in her mind flashes frantically. She roars in her mind, eliminate! The massive Tibetan Mastiff's head is completely erased just 1 centimeter from Chloe's nose. Only a headless corpse crashes down heavily onto Chloe, nearly crushing the air from her lungs. Host eliminated Tier 1 mutant. Experience gained, 10 points. Stamina depletion warning. Chloe feels her strength draining away, her vision goes dark and she nearly faints, but she has survived. This little show is getting interesting. I lower the binoculars, amusement flickering in my eyes. Since you don't want to leave, let me point you towards salvation. My voice echoes out again, carrying a demonic persuasion. 200 meters east, there's a security booth. That's your only chance of survival tonight. With that, the window shuts completely, leaving only two figures trembling in the darkness and more green eyes gathering around them. Move! To the booth! Chloe shoves the dog corpse off and staggers to her feet. She doesn't even glance at Ryan. She remembers that shove. In the final second before the zombie hounds close in, both of them scramble desperately toward the dilapidated security booth. The booth is tiny and drafty. They barely manage to block the windows with discarded planks and old newspapers. Chloe, are you okay? Ryan edges closer, trying to take her hand with a flattering smile. Just now, I was trying to push the dog away, not you. Don't misunderstand. After that ordeal, her innocent facade finally cracks, revealing the selfish, cold nature beneath. Don't think I don't know what's in your head. Ryan, from now on, if you dare lay another hand on me, I'll make your head disappear just like that dog's. Ryan freezes, a flash of resentment in his eyes, but he quickly masks it. He knows Chloe now wields that terrifying elimination system. Killing him would be effortless for her. He can only endure. Meanwhile, in the safe house, I hold a tablet in my hands. Though the public network is down, my military-grade satellite receiver still picks up global signals. News from around the world scrolls across the screen. Emergency announcement for the eastern region. The government has activated the highest-level emergency protocol. Official shelters nationwide are now open. Survivors, please proceed to the nearest location. City shelter location. East District Sports Center. Shelter 7. I stare at those coordinates. In my past life, That place was indeed the largest official stronghold in the early days, but precisely because there were too many people, supplies depleted rapidly, and with chaotic management. Within a month, the infamous granary riot broke out, killing tens of thousands. Looks like history's trajectory hasn't changed. I closed the news and opened the system interface. Current stockpile, 32,000 tons. System level LV1. Experience, 0%. Upgrade requirement, collect 10 tier 1 zombie cores. Cores. In my past life, people didn't discover until the third month of the apocalypse that the cores in zombie brains could be used to enhance abilities. But I know now. That fool Chloe was too busy killing the dog to save herself, leaving the most precious spoils of war in the snow. Those are my experience points. Can't let them go to waste. I change into a lightweight nanothermal combat suit and grab my tactical axe. I decide to head out for a stroll, to reap my first harvest on this first night of the raging blizzard, and check if those two rats have frozen to death yet. Wearing a fully sealed nanothermal combat suit and gripping my tactical axe, I move through the western outskirts wasteland. 50 meters ahead, the pack of zombie dogs circles the security booth, 7 in total. I adjust my breathing, then burst out from behind the snow pile where I've been hiding. The first zombie dog is still growling at the booth. It doesn't even react. Before my axe arrives. With a dull thud, the tactical axe splits its hard skull. Tier 1 zombie dog eliminated. Experience +5. The commotion instantly alerts the other 6 hounds. The alpha, a massive Tibetan mastiff, whips its head around. Those ghostly green eyes lock onto me. It kicks off with its hind legs, its massive body charging like a tank, just as it reaches half a meter from me. I point my left hand at the ground beneath the mastiff. In that instant, a 2-meter diameter section of ice, along with the frozen earth beneath it, vanishes into thin air. The ground disappears under the mastiff, and it plunges straight down. Strike while you're down. I leap into the pit right after it. My tactical axe arcs through the air and cleaves brutally into the mastiff's vulnerable neck joint. A grotesque dog head rolls away. Elite Mutant Hound eliminated. Experience +20. Item dropped. Tier 1 power core. The light surges through me. I crouch down and, suppressing my disgust, rummage through the mastiff's skull. Soon I pull out a fingernail-sized crystal emitting a faint red glow. This is the hardest currency of the apocalypse. The core, the source of zombie power, and the key to human evolution. The remaining 5 zombie dogs above bark frantically but don't dare descend into the pit. I look up with a cruel smile. Don't rush. One by one, you're all my experience points. With a thought, I retrieve a modified nail gun from my system space. For the next 5 minutes, I stand at the bottom of the pit like I'm at target practice. Battle over. I climb out and search every corpse. Luck is on my side. The 7 dogs yielded 3 cores total. The system experience bar has risen to 45%. I toss the cores into my space and walk toward the security booth. It's empty inside, only messy footprints and a line carved into the wall with fingernails. Ethan, you'll pay for this. Heh, quite the survivor, aren't you? I sneer dismissively. I'm not worried about what these 2 insignificant pawns can do. In this apocalypse, living is often more painful than dying. Since they've gone to the official shelter, let them enjoy their rewards there. That's the real living hell. I turn and leave, my silhouette disappearing into the blizzard. This outing confirms one thing. In this world where all rules have collapsed, as long as you're ruthless and strong enough, this place is my playground, and my next target is Central Hospital downtown. Not only zombies await there, but also the antiviral serum I desperately need. While it can't cure the zombie virus, it can treat common flu and infections, crucial in the early stages. Meanwhile, at the East District Sports Center, the place has been converted into a temporary shelter. Thousands of survivors crowd at the entrance. Cries, curses, and pleas for help blend into chaos. Armed soldiers maintain order with tense expressions. Don't push. Form a line. Temperature check required. Anyone with wounds, immediate isolation. Supplies are limited. 1 bowl of porridge per person per day. Want more? Join the search and rescue team. Chloe and Ryan blend into the crowd, utterly disheveled. Halt! What do you think you're doing? A soldier blocks the 2 trying to cut in line. I'm an awakened! Chloe clutches at this lifeline, frantically waving her hands and shouting, I have powers! I'm special! Let me in!